What is going on, everyone, and welcome to the Healthy, Fit, and Pain-Free podcast. I am your host, Doc T, and we are here for episode 54. So, due to the spirit of the season, we are going to do another question of the day. This is Question of the Day, episode 3. And that question was brought to me from Helen. So, Helen is actually not one of our members. She is someone on social media that reached out to me, and she asked, what do you do when you go on vacation? Do you have any tips for me? And of course, I decided to make this into an episode because I know whenever we just came back from a vacation from Myrtle Beach a few weeks ago, and in that time, I'd hear people say things in the sense of blowing their diet apart or not really knowing what to do, or they just wanted to enjoy themselves, or I'll start my diet on Monday, whatever. And, you see this a lot now, especially going on vacations. People are trying to be a little more health conscious if you actually stuck to trying to be healthier this year. And it can be a little bit difficult. It can kind of be a little bit draining. And so I wanted to give my 3 don'ts when it comes to vacation. Okay, so without further ado, Number 1, don't rely on walking. Now, I say this because people tend to always say, we're going to go on vacation, we're going to walk a lot, which is totally fine, and you should. I do, and I'm not saying you shouldn't walk, but people go on vacation, they're thinking, I'm just going to walk a lot, and that's it. And again, it's good to walk. It's good to be active while you're on vacation. But if you're someone who really works out hard, walking's not really going to fill that gap. Now, you can totally go on vacation and not worry about working out. Totally fine. But if you're someone who, like in Helen's case, who wants to go on vacation without losing any progress, can't really rely on walking. You need to stay consistent with your workouts. Now, I'm not saying if you work out every single day, you have to on vacation. But you have to do something that's a little bit higher intensity. Now, if you don't have access to a lot or, time, you don't want to spend all your time in the gym, focus on full big body movements. These are things like pressing, rows, pull downs or pull ups, squats, lunges, hinge, deadlifts, stuff like that. Not machine based, but things that you can do with free weights. And something else with that too is, it's the mindset too. If you just go walking on vacation, then you're going to kind of think to yourself, walking's good enough. It's good enough. But to keep that good intensity mindset, you do want to still incorporate that a little bit on your vacation. Again, this is all my opinion if you want to go without losing progress. I am not saying that you need to be a and workout Nazi with yourself on vacation. I'm just saying don't rely on walking if you don't want to lose progress. And realize that when you go on vacation too, again, this goes along with number 1, it's about maintenance. When you go on vacation, there's not really a chance that you're going to be doing things that's going to push you that next level. Now, if you go somewhere where there's a really nice gym and if you're a fitness fanatic and you go somewhere that these people, or like maybe if you're someone who's in CrossFit, for instance, and you go to another CrossFit box, and there's supportive people there that you can go to, well then, yeah, you could definitely go for PRs and still try to excel. But for most of you, we're talking about maintenance here. And so again, you want to do, now, as far as body weight workouts, I'm a little bit weird with that one. Especially if you're someone who lifts weights all the time, a body weight workout really isn't going to do a lot. Now, if you just want to get your head feeling good because you worked out, full body workout's totally fine. If we're talking about progress here, well, that's a whole different story. So, again, don't number 1, do not rely on just walking. Really, a side note with this too, if you're someone who has knee problems or hip problems or even ankle problems, and you think that you're going to go to the beach and be like Rocky and get like a lot of walking or running on the beach, keep in mind, many times I hear people who don't live at the beach, obviously, and this is typically older people, like who have like knee problems or ankle problems or hip problems, they come back from the beach typically feeling worse because you put a lot more effort whenever you walk in the sand. So just keep that in mind. If you come back from the beach and you're wondering why you're a little bit more sore, it's probably why. All right. Don't number 2. Don't manipulate your diet. Now, what I mean by this is don't do something different. Don't go to the beach. If you don't typically do intermittent fasting or any type of fasting, don't go to the beach and start fasting and think that that's going to help you to be able to eat what you want, drink what you want without having any repercussions. If you're someone who doesn't do a like a keto-based diet, don't go to the beach and take away all your carbs and everything so that you can splurge later. Don't do that. For one, it's going to make the moment that you do splurge later is going to be an even bigger binge than what it typically is. But for 2, your body's not going to react right. And let me be the first to tell you, when I go on vacation, it is a huge shock to my body. I typically meal prep. I don't really drink a ton. I don't mind if a couple beers on the weekend, but as far as like throughout the week, I don't drink a ton. I meal prep all the time. We don't go out to eat that much. My salt's typically low just because I don't, and sugars and stuff because I don't eat a lot of processed foods. Again, this isn't to make you feel bad. This is to kind of give you an idea. When I go on vacation, my body does not respond well. Now, it goes away when I come back, but my feet swell. I retain a lot of water. I feel like crap. Again, because this is kind of the exact opposite of what my body is used to. And so just realize that's going to happen to your body anyhow. And so don't try to manipulate it because it might actually make it worse. Along with this, obviously don't neglect hydration. Drink plenty and plenty and plenty of water. Electrolytes aren't a bad idea either, especially if you go to the beach and you're out and you're sweating all day. And even if you're having a few adult beverages, it's going to make you, it's going to cause you to have to go to the bathroom a little bit more. So, hydration is key. Now, I will use one for instance. So, someone who's when we were at the beach a couple weeks ago, I had one day where I had a lot of swelling in my feet. Couldn't really figure out why. Started doing a little bit of detective work because that's what I do for a living. And what actually ended up happening was all day, we had breakfast, then we went to the beach. I worked out actually before breakfast that day. Then we went to the beach and didn't really eat anything all day. Had some water, had a few adult beverages throughout the day, and was sweating profusely because it was very hot there. And didn't really consume anything other than, again, a few adult beverages and some water. Well, whenever we got back to the house later that day, I then was so hungry, so I ate something, and I had some electrolytes because I wanted to, kind of replenish things. What ended up happening was my body rebounded in a hardcore way. I now gave my body salts. I now gave my body more fluids. I now gave my body food, and so it just held on to everything that I put in it. And so what ended up happening is I didn't go to the bathroom for a while, and that was just water retention. So it kind of gives you an idea not to hit the panic button necessarily when you're on vacation. Another thing, too, with don't manipulate your diet, I know I said don't manipulate anything, but make sure you focus on veggies and protein. For one, veggies will fill you up. They're full of vitamins and minerals, so when you go out to eat, and fiber, not to mention fiber, when you go out to eat, have a salad before your meal. That way you're getting your veggies in, and it's going to pre-fill you up a little bit. If you get a meal, make sure you get plenty of veggies. Don't get all deep-fried food. Don't get all coleslaw. Coleslaws are technically a vegetable, but still, it's very fattening and very carb-dense for a side. So make sure you are getting good vegetables in there as well. If you're cooking at home, again, make sure you have a salad, other vegetables in there. Because, again, that's going to give you vitamins and minerals, but it's also going to help fill you up. Protein's a huge one, too. If you go to the beach and if you're that worried about it, get, grilled fish, a blackened fish, a steamed fish, whatever. Don't get deep-fried things. believe it or not, there's not a whole lot of protein when it comes to deep fried meats and breaded and deep fried meats. So, make sure you're getting steaks, you're getting fish, you're getting shrimp, you're getting things that are leaner, but then also make sure they're prepared accordingly. Last but not least, be careful with mixed drinks. Mixed drinks have a ton of sugar in them. They just have a ton of sugar in them typically. So your body's going to really hold on to that sugar in a weird way. I know the story I was just telling about how I had a lot of swelling one day. That actually, I had a few mixed drinks that day too, which I don't typically have. Because I like to always have like a margarita or something at least once whenever on the beach. And just all that sugar and all that salt can really, again, trap fluids in your body, makes you retain water, and then also makes you feel like crap even more. So, again, with those, don't manipulate your diet. Don't try something different. Always hammer veggies and proteins, and just, be careful with mixed drinks because the mix that's in them is typically very sugar heavy. So, all right. Last but not least, number 3 here. Don't fret or sweat about it. Okay. What I mean here is you are going to gain weight. There is no doubt in my mind that you're going to gain weight when you're at the beach. But people don't realize that's not fat that you're gaining. Now, if you eat like an asshole and you go crazy at the beach, you go to buffets every single day, you drink nonstop, and you eat foods way different than what you typically take in, you will probably gain a little bit of fat. I'm sorry to tell you. But, you got 2 options. Well, you got multiple options here, but you can either really be clean and not enjoy vacation, or you can, splurge a little bit and really enjoy vacation. So that's kind of up to you. But you're going to gain weight. I know that I probably gained 5 to 10 pounds on vacation and water retention. I know that because I bought a pair of sandals while we were at the beach, a pair of slip-on Hey Dude sandals, and I haven't worn them since we got back from the beach, and yesterday we went to a friend's house for a pool party, and I put them on, and they felt like clogs on my feet because they were so loose. So I know I gained a lot of water retention while we were there. But anyhow, I know I hated the way I looked when I came back, but I said, you know what? I know it's gonna come off. This is the best I've ever felt coming back from vacation as far as being confident and just kind of letting it go. I knew I was gonna be okay, and it took me about 4 or 5 days. But when I looked in the mirror, I was right back to where I was. If anything, I might have actually been even better because I went back and above maintenance. I've been eating a little below maintenance for the past few months, so got my metabolism jump-started a little bit, and just gave my body what it needed, gave it that rest recovery, and so I actually looked better. So yeah, the same thing will happen with you. You'll gain some weight, but just get back in your system when you get back, and it'll be no time at all. You'll be back down to where you were. Realize, too, with this, you need to relax. I don't meet a ton of people who do this, but there are people that make themselves, I used to do this all the time, and I know people who have, make themselves feel guilty when they go on vacation. They feel guilty because they really went off their diet. They feel guilty because they really went off their workout routine. And to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. No one's judging you on vacation because you went off your diet. No one's judging you because you didn't work out. No one's really judging you with how you look in a bathing suit. To be honest with you, everybody is just thinking about themselves and how horrible they look in a bathing suit. Their words, not mine. So, again, just try to relax, try to enjoy it, and realize that people aren't looking at you as much as you think they are. And last but not least, be at peace and lower your expectations. When you're at sometimes people have to go on vacation, they think, I am going to stick to my workout routine and my diet while I'm on this vacation, only enjoy a few drinks. A, that sounds horrible, and it sounds terrible for a vacation goal. But B, it creates so many expectations, and if you do fall off the wagon, you're just going to, unfortunately, put yourself in a self-deprecating hole. To go with, there's a saying that I use to joke around with, if you set the bar low enough, even if you trip, you're going to fall over it. So when you go on vacation, don't have a ton of expectations with it. Just take it for what it is. Enjoy the other things that you're going to do. And, if you do stick to, like with my wife and I, our thing was we were going to work out every single day. And we did. So there's something to hang our hat on. As far as diet was horrible. Ate way more deep fried food than I wanted to. But, I paid for that. And now we're back to square one. So, again, don't fret about it. Don't sweat about it. Find other things to enjoy that you don't typically get to enjoy. Whether that's hearing the ocean, walking on the sand, spending time with your family that you don't typically get to, spending time with your extended family that you don't typically get to. For us this year, it was Rhett's first actual time on the beach, so we got to really enjoy that. So you really have to try to, if you're going to do anything with, instead of making workout goals, make goals of what am I going to enjoy that I don't typically get to enjoy. So there's some things to kind of take home. So again, going back to this, the 3 don'ts when you go on vacation, again, to help make sure that you enjoy it the best way possible, but also keep your fitness, your progress at least maintained throughout, is 1, don't rely on walking. Make sure if you want to work out, get a few full big body, like big movement workouts in. Don't rely on walking because, again, that's not going to really do anything. But also make sure you get your steps in. 2, don't manipulate your diet anyway. Do the same thing you typically do. If you're like me and you're typically fairly strict and you meal prep, yes, you're not going to be able to do this, but don't manipulate in any way, shape, or form just so you can binge or treat yourself later. It just doesn't work out in the end. And then number 3, don't fret or sweat about it. Enjoy your vacation. Enjoy time with your family. Enjoy the peace and quiet. Enjoy some relaxation. Read that book you've been wanting to read forever. Just, again, don't fret about it. Don't sweat about it. And I will leave with this. And those are my 3 takeaways, by the way. Don't rely on walking. Don't manipulate your diet. Don't fret or sweat about it. Here is something else. And this is a little bit of a real talk, to be honest with you. If you go on the beach, when you go on vacation, you are responsible for every decision you make. I know. Shocker, right? But you're responsible for every decision you make when you go on vacation. If you decide to stray off your diet, to stray away from working out, and to fully enjoy yourself, you are fully responsible for that. That is your fault. But that's not a bad thing. Just accept the fact that you made that decision and move on from there. If, however, you are going to go on vacation and you say that you are going to not fall off the wagon, you're going to behave yourself, and you don't, again, that is your fault. Take it for what it's worth. Accept the responsibility that you did fall off the wagon, and that's it. Move on. Don't dwell on it. Don't sit there and get all mad at yourself for it. Just realize that you did make those decisions, and that is completely okay. You're not going to come back. Simon Cowell is not going to be in your garage with a number sign up and berate you because you did not stick to what you said you were going to. I know that's a weird American Idol reference, but you're not going to be judged for what you do. People are not going to message below your family pictures and say how horrible you look. It's your time. You do with it what you want, and just accept that and enjoy that. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. A little bit of low-key one here, but I think a lot of usefulness. Again, a lot of this is mindset too, but it's also very actionable things that you can do. And again, this is the holiday season as far as, the vacationing season. So make sure that you are getting that time, enjoying that time. And don't be like the 55% plus of people who have vacation time and don't take it, because eventually you will not like yourself for it. Also, today is the 4th of July, so happy 4th to everyone. Happy Independence Day. Thank you to all of those who risk their lives every single day to keep that, so we can keep that freedom. And I look forward to seeing you all talking with you all on the next podcast. So have a great day, all. Love you. Mwah.